Hey everybody, welcome back to Magic Orthodoxy. My name is David. Some of you know that I have another YouTube channel where I teach beginning level magic tricks. And I started that channel as a way to make video reminder lessons for the actual lessons I used to teach kids in school. And just over time, I started making more and more videos. And I later moved on to magic tricks that were very inexpensive, very cheap, only cost a couple of bucks, and whose instructions were very difficult to understand. And I made those videos for my nieces and nephews, who I had got those tricks for, and I wanted them to have video tutorials. And I later made a lot of those videos public, and I wanted everyone to see them. Well, recently, I saw a question come up on one of the Magic Facebook pages about the difference between teaching and exposure. And I thought that would make a great magic question. All right, what's the difference? What is the difference between teaching magic and exposing magic? And is there a difference? Well, the short answer is no. There's no difference. For instance, everyone agrees that a magic book is teaching, right? But if I record myself teaching one of those tricks, right, one of those tricks, and I post that video to the internet, then our community says that's exposure. And we say one is good and one is bad. Well, here's the thing. Good and bad are just relative, okay? They're not facts. So all magic instruction is teaching, and all magic instruction is exposure. And it's exposure and teaching at the same time. What separates it, and I think what defines it the best, is the intent. All right. So you have to ask, what was the intent of the person who created the information? If the intent is for teaching, then it's teaching. For instance, I could make a video on the cup and vase, right? I could teach someone in a video how to do the cup and vase trick. Now, is that video exposure? No. Because in order for them to do the trick, they would still need to go buy it, right? They would have to buy it. So the information that I'm offering, it only helps because it's either going to help you make a choice to go and purchase the effect, or it helps because it teaches you how to do the effect. Teaching will always build the magic community. But what if somebody took someone's marketed effect and says, here's how you perform it, and here's how you can build it yourself? That's exposure. Because now what you're doing is you're taking money away from the creator. You are taking light off of the creator and you're placing it onto yourself. Your information now hurts someone. Exposure hurts the magic community. And the argument seems to now always be addressed at either TikTok or YouTube. Right? And yes, there are exposure channels out there. There are channels where the creator's intent is to hurt the magic community. There is a very popular TikToker whose whole intent behind his channel is to hurt the magic community and to hurt magicians. All he does is drink apple juice and expose magic. His channel is not to teach. His channel does not lift people up. His channel bullies, and it tears down, and it hurts. And most magicians block him. They block him because he seems to only care about his own popularity, his own channel, and the toxicity that he has hurts the community. But there are channels on YouTube where the magic is to help. It helps young magicians get better, and it helps them get more excited about their art. And yes, those resources are free. Some have said, well, libraries are free. That's true. But some of us rich Americans seem to forget that in other countries, people don't have access to your fancy libraries. And they also don't have access to money to pay the expensive shipping costs on books and DVDs. And it seems like their only argument then is, well, if you can't afford it, then maybe you shouldn't be a magician. I guess somewhere we've all forgotten that a long time ago, there was a magician who showed you kindness. And they showed you a trick that you didn't pay for. And you didn't learn it in a book. But they just showed it to you because they were kind. But that's okay, because you grew up to become a magician. Now, does that mean that some people will only look up a secret just to learn the secret? Of course. But again, it's just information. It's not good and it's not bad. So then it becomes the intent of the person who looks up the secret, right? It comes back to intent. Their intent is now in question, right? And if their intent was just to learn the secret and not to grow up to become a magician, then their intent is purely selfish. They just want to know the secret. Does that mean then we should just take down all the magic videos on YouTube for the sake of that one person? No. And then you could say, well, David, actually it's a lot more than one person. Okay, I get it. And I'm sure. My magic channel, just for instance, right? Each one of those videos has a few hundred views. And I'm sure that 90% of those views are from people who want to learn magic with the right intent. Magic tutorials do not just pop up accidentally in your feed, okay? You have to go and look for them. And most magic tutorials, you would have to go look up by name, okay? Otherwise, you'd never find them. And my videos with only a few hundred views, I mean, come on, okay? But what about big channels? What about big teaching channels like 52 Cards, okay? Great channel, great channel. He has over 1 million subscribers. Wow, 1 million subscribers. And I saw a video where he had 29,000 views. A teaching video with 29,000 views. Okay, but let's just be realistic. YouTube has 30 million people watching it a day. A day! 30 million a day, okay? So a magic video that we're crying about and saying, look at, he has 29,000 views. That's only, right? Only 29,000 views. That's nothing. That is nothing. Those numbers are so small. Because guess what? All those people are not in your hometown. Right? They are not all coming to see your next magic show. Magicians teaching magic on YouTube is not a threat to you. Okay? Wayne Dyer said this in one of his books. He said, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So let's define it. All right? Let's define exposure. Let's define what exposure is, because that is the thing that hurts the community, right? We said exposure hurts. So what hurts the community? Exposure is someone exposing commercial effects and books belonging to present-day magicians who rely on the sales of those products as a source of income. And by exposing them, these creators then lose sales. That is bad, right? We can agree that's bad because that is unethical. But I know, I have not fully convinced the old guard, and let's just address, okay? Let's just address some of their concerns. I saw one argument in a forum that said, YouTube provides access to exposure that previously would require a trip to the library and searching through a magic book. Again, that's better? I mean, Do you hear yourself? It's not exposure to have a book in the library teach an Elmsley count, but it is exposure to have a video on YouTube that teaches an Elmsley count. Because why? Because one's in a book, and a book is a better medium? Because a book takes more effort? Because I have to get into a car and drive to a library? I mean, that just seems ridiculous, okay? Another argument is that if people learn the secret, then the deception is lost. And if the deception is lost, then it's no longer entertaining. That's also not true. You know how I know? Because I know thousands of tricks, right? I know how tons of tricks are done, tons. And I am still entertained when I watch a magician on TV, or when I go to see them perform, or when one walks over to my table while I'm at dinner. I'm still entertained. My wife knows hundreds of tricks, and she's still entertained. She still enjoys watching magic. People who are just internet curious about tricks, they don't retain how those tricks were done years later. Okay, they're not going to remember because they don't use those techniques. Okay, magic isn't a part of their life. Did you learn Spanish in high school? Okay, how much Spanish do you remember now? Probably not a lot, because you don't use it. You don't use it, and so it gets lost. I know the ingredients in cake, but I can't tell you how to make a cake. I know there's flour, eggs, water, right? I know the ingredients, but I couldn't make one myself. But if you made me a cake, I'd eat it. Okay? The knowledge of the cake doesn't take away from the enjoyment of the cake, right? I'm still gonna eat it. Let me break it to you, okay? Maybe no one's ever said this to you, I don't know, but lots of people know that you don't really have magical powers. Okay? That's why they're called magic tricks. They know. But they are happy to play along with your character because it is entertaining. Another argument is, sure, you can learn magic on the internet for free, but you'll learn better magic if you buy it. What a crappy argument that is. Again, we think that exposure is free and teaching you pay for. Who came up with that rule? Okay? You can also learn to fix a faucet for free on YouTube. Are you trying to tell me that if I hire a plumber to fix it for me, then it's going to be better? They're going to do a better job than me? Because why? Because I paid for it? That doesn't make any sense, all right? I hate to break it to you, but we are now living in an age where more and more information is free. But even with all of the free resources now on the internet, magicians seem to be gatekeeping this gate, okay? We are holding the line on this gate, and we're saying, no, we don't want, magic for free out there on the internet, and we're holding the line, right? I don't think anybody else cares about free magic on the internet. I think we are the only ones who care about it. I mean, think about this. How many times in your professional career or your hobbies career, whatever, how many times when you're performing magic for someone, does someone say to you, I know how that's done. I saw a tutorial on YouTube. It's never happened to me, ever. And even if it did, I would know what to do. I would know what to say. I would know how to handle it. It'd be the same as that 5-year-old kid who says, I know how you did that, I would react the same exact way, right? Listen, I am 54 years old. So I remember a time when I could walk into a physical magic shop with glass counters, magic on shelves behind him with books and other tricks, and I would have to ask if they could show me this or that. And the magic shop owner would, of course, also show me some things that they were working on. And I'll be honest with you, I miss those days. But they are not coming back. Do you know why? Because there was a year where I moved out of my hometown. And I moved to a new town. And in that town, there wasn't a magic store to go shopping at. So I was forced to buy all of my tricks where? Online, right, on the internet. And because more and more of us started buying our tricks on the internet because it was easier or cheaper, right? Those brick and mortar stores, especially the ones that didn't have an online presence, they closed. Magic has moved online. Just like everything else in the world. And it's not good and it's not bad. It just is what it is. Frederick Douglass said, if there is no struggle, there is no progress. Hey, the fact that there's a struggle is fine. The fact that we're talking about this is fine. The internet is still, in very many ways, a baby. It is still in its infancy, and we are still learning how to navigate it. So the fact that we're having this conversation is good. It just means we care. And we care about magic. We both care about the same thing, and that's good. We care about the future of magic. That's good. Keep caring. Keep caring. Thanks for the question, guys. I hope this helps. I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey, would you like to learn a magic trick? You would? Did you know I have a second channel? That's right. I have a second channel where I teach beginning level magic tricks. Magic Channel Card Tricks is a place that you can go to learn tricks with ordinary items you can find around the house. Paper clips, rubber bands, pens, and of course, decks of cards. I teach beginning level card tricks, simple card tricks, simple card forces that anybody could learn. I also review magic kits. So if you go buy a magic kit from the store, your local Walmart or Target, or you get a magic kit for Christmas, I'll go over exactly what's inside. And I'll even teach you how to perform with some of those tricks that you get inside those kits. Plus, I'm even gonna give you video instruction to very simple, very inexpensive tricks that you can pick up at your favorite magic store. Sometimes you get those tricks and the instructions are just on a tiny little piece of typewritten paper and you have no idea how to do that trick. Don't throw that trick away. Don't put it in a box. Come back to Magic Channel Card Tricks and I will teach you how to use that trick as well. Or maybe you're not a beginner. Maybe you're not a beginner, but maybe you have a niece or a nephew or a little brother or sister that you could share this channel with them. This is a great, safe place, kid-friendly, where they can learn beginning level magic. Make sure you head on over to Magic Channel Card Tricks, give my videos a like, subscribe to that channel. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for being a part of Magic Orthodoxy.